Hey, welcome or welcome back to the channel. It's Vanessa here. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. In today's tutorial, we're going to be making this 8 granny square cat beanie. I made this cat beanie with 4 different types of granny squares. So whatever type of granny square you have, you can use it to make this tutorial. I have the tutorial for each of these mosaic granny squares. These are 2 different granny square mosaics, and I have the tutorial on how to make each of these granny squares if you do want to make yours in a similar type of pattern like mine. But whatever type of granny squares you have, or whatever crochet square you have, you can use it to do this tutorial. It is very easy, it is beginner friendly. You can make it. It's a very quick crochet project as well that you can make it as a beginner, and it is a cute project as well. So you can use whatever colors, whatever yarn that you have, and I have a written pattern, and the link is going to be down in the description box, available on my Etsy shop. So that's it. Without further ado, let's get right into the tutorial. So of course, for this project you need 8 granny squares in order to make this cat beanie. In order to get your head measurements, I'm going to ask you that you should take your head circumference. You're going to remove 1 inch, then you divide that number by 4. This is because crochet stretches, so when it stretches, it's going to meet your exact head measurements. But if you're someone who has like braids or big hair, just use the exact head measurement circumference that you have. Mine is 21 inches. That is why each of mine are 5 inches, which is 20, then minus 1. Okay, so that is how you get it. So this is how we are going to join our squares. It is very simple, and you can use whatever joining method you want. You can use a darning needle. I just use my crochet hook. You're going to join it in a cross like you see me demonstrate right here. You're going to join it in a cross shape, and I'm going to show you how to join it with crocheting. You can use a darning needle, whatever you've got to join, you can use it. And we are going to be joining using slip stitches. So you're going to start by attaching your yarn. So attach your yarn in one of the chain 2 spaces right there. I'm just going to zoom in. I know I'm using black yarn, which is why I'm zooming in so you can see clearly. Go into the chain 2 spaces at the corners, pull your yarn through, and then you are just going to chain 1 to secure. Make sure it's nice and tight, just like that. And then you're going to work into the front loop of the granny square in front of you and into the back loop of the granny square away from you, and then you're just going to slip stitch. We'll try it again. Go into the front loop of the granny square in front of you, and then into the back loop of the granny square away from you. Now this slip stitching method is going to give your granny square a very flat finish, which is what we want. So go into the front loop of the granny square close to you and the back loop of the granny square away from you. So you can do this with slip stitching or single crochet, whichever one you want. So here I was just using single crochet. So front loop of the granny square close to me, back loop of the granny square far away from me, and then single crochet. So this gives it like a very flat edge. So I'm carrying my yarn as I go because I don't like tucking in yarn at the end of my work. It just messes me up. So I'm just going to repeat the same thing until I get to the end. So I'm just going to let you guys watch what I'm doing. Now when we get to the end of our square, we're going to repeat the same thing. Remember, we've got chain 2s at the edges of our squares. So we're just going to work into those chain 2s to finish the square. Then we are just going to go immediately into the chain 2s, front loop of the one close to me and back loop of the other one, just like that. Just going to attach the next group of squares immediately so that we don't have to cut yarn too much or attach yarn too much. That's all I'm saying. So me personally, I'm more comfortable with the single crochet than the slip stitch, which is why I was using the single crochet to join. So you use the slip stitch if that's what you're more comfortable with. So I'm just making sure I'm matching every stitch, which is very important. Make sure you're matching every stitch. And here we are at the end. I am just going to finish off with a single crochet, chain 1, and then I'm going to cut it off. And there we are. We have one of the lines, if I should say, done. I don't know why I was confused here. We have one of the lines done, and this is what it's looking like. So obviously, to join using this method, to join the single squares, you're making sure that both the right sides of the granny squares are touching each other to join this, and you're joining in the wrong side. Okay, so we're going to repeat the exact same thing for these next lines. We are going to fold it so that the right sides are touching each other, just like that, and then we are going to repeat the exact same thing that we've just done, but this time, and obviously this time with we're going to slip stitch to or single crochet to join on the wrong side. And this is me just finishing all of that. All this joining is done on the wrong side. I just want that you should keep that in mind. And this is what it's looking like. We have one of the squares finished, 4 squares done, and then we have these other 4 squares. I'm just going to go ahead and join them the same way off camera, and I'm going to meet you guys back. Right, so here we are with all of our squares joined together, and now we're going to join everything shut to do our cat beanie. So this is what it's looking like. I'm going to take the measurements for a bit so you guys can see like my measurements. I've got a very tiny head, okay, even with braids in and hair in. I've got that is 10 inches, so it's going to come out 20 inches obviously. So this hat is going to be folded like this. So I'm just looking for the side that is nicer, where the fold will look nice. Okay, now for this joining part, the final joining part, we're going to join on the right side. So make sure that the wrong sides are touching each other, and you're going to join 3 sides of this hat. Okay, just 3 sides, and the 4th side is obviously going to be the opening. You're going to leave that open. So I'm just going to attach my yarn just like we normally would, by pulling the yarn through and securing it with a chain. I'm just pulling it into the chain 2 space, by the way, and I'm going to secure it with a chain just like that. And then we are going to work single crochets into all the loops of the front of the granny squares in the front and the granny squares in the back. I'm going to zoom in a minute so you guys can see what I'm doing. So you're just going to go into 2 loops, making sure that you're matching up all the stitches, and we're going to single crochet. This is me personally. I like to do like my finishing single crochet in the front, like the stitching in the front. So I'm going through all 2 loops and I'm carrying my yarn as I go. So go into the stitches, into all the stitches, and work regular single crochets throughout the entire project. So please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like this video if it's helpful. Leave a comment down in the comment section. Tell me what type of granny square you're going to use to make this hat, what color schemes you're going to use. Let me know down in the comment section. Share this video as well to anyone who you think might need it. And yeah, so we're just going to keep crocheting. This is me just zooming in, so black yarn is not going to be a problem for us here. So yeah, I'm just going to keep single crocheting. When you get to the chain 1 spaces, just do 1 single crochet in there. Then you're going to do 3 single crochets into each of the matching double crochets. Then when you go to the chain 1 space, you do 1 single crochet. So that's just like how the pattern is going to look like. So I'm just going to let you guys watch, and I'll meet you back. Now when you single crochet to where you have like the chain 2 spaces, just do 1 single crochet in there, then keep going. Okay, do 1 single crochet into those chain 2 spaces, into each of the chain 2 spaces, then keep going. Now when you single crochet till you get to the corners where the ears are going to be, just do 2 single crochets into the chain 2 spaces, just like that. That's our second single crochet. And then you're going to start matching up the stitches again and work single crochet into the 2 stitches of the double crochets, then to the chain 1 space. Then you're going to keep working the same way until you get to the end. So make sure that you remember that we're shutting or single crocheting 3 sides of this project. So this is me at the end of our project. I'm just doing the last of our single crochets. I'm doing 2 at the end, chain 1, and then I'm going to cut off my yarn, and immediately I'm just going to tuck it in from the front. Okay, so this is what it's looking like. So when you tuck everything in, we are going to be done with our tutorial. You can cut off all the hanging threads and whatever, you know, and this is what it's going to look like. Remember, this particular beanie is a type that you fold. I have other tutorials on like 2 granny square crochet beanies, just 2 granny squares I use in making the cat ear beanie, and I've got another tutorial of using just 6 granny squares to make a cat ear beanie. All of those tutorials are up on the YouTube channel. Tell me what you think about it. I would like to hear your thoughts. Follow me on TikTok because that's where TikTok usually sees most of my projects before YouTube usually does. But that's it for this tutorial. I hope I'll see you in my next video. Bye.